Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here, predicting the 8-game NBA main slate on Friday. A couple things before I get into the video. If you're new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos talking about NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS. I'm also running a weekly $20 PayPal giveaway on my channel. How it works, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment per video. So it started with my Monday NBA video that I uploaded at the beginning of the week. We'll go throughout the week on end of my Monday NBA video at the end of the week. So however many videos I've uploaded for the week, you can end the giveaway that many times. If I have 10 videos uploaded for this week, you can enter the giveaway 10 times. And again, winner receives $20 PayPal for myself. With that out of the way, let's jump into the video. So this is a crazy 8-game slate on Friday. Real quick though, I just want to apologize for not being able to get a video up on Thursday or live stream. Last couple days had to stay pretty late at work, and I didn't want to rush a video or rush a live stream when I wasn't prepared. So I figured I would take the day off, kind of clear my head and get back after it for this crazy slate on Friday. So again, apologize for that, but we're back Friday for this video as well as I will be live streaming. So let's just jump into it. If we look at the over-unders and the spreads right now, there's nothing out besides this Portland-Utah game. 226.5, 8.5 point spread. And that's kind of, this slate right now. There's literally so much up in the air with injuries, trades, are guys going to be active or not, right? It is one of the most crazy slates that I can remember. So I'll try to do my best to break it down. So bear with me. This might be a longer video. So let's start at center today. And at the top is Domantas Sabonis, 9K. I think he's okay for sure. I mean, he's playing big minutes. Even with, Oladipo and Brogdon in, hasn't really affected his usage too much. 38, 35, 37, 38 minutes. He's still putting up really consistent numbers. Had a triple-double last game against Toronto. I just don't think he's a priority on this slate for me. Porzingis would be a priority if he plays. He broke his nose. He's listed as questionable. If he plays even at this price, I would go right back to the well for the fourth time now. He's been, winning me a lot of money. I know he's been chalky, but if he's available, I am going right back to the well. If he is out, we already know Luka's out, then it's Maxi Kleber, Willie Cauley-Stein, Jalen Brunson. Those are the three guys I would want. You could also consider a guy like DeLon Wright. We have Seth Curry and JJ Barea also questionable. So, yeah, a lot of kind of up in the air right now for Dallas, so it's certainly something to keep an eye on there. I also really like DeAndre Ayton at 8.6K. I am really kicking myself that last slate on Wednesday when I played Cat. My initial gut was play Drummond and Ayton together. And I talked about them in my video. With all the value opening up, that stupid Minnesota value, I was so pissed because there's so many plays that I really liked, and I got talked at, the Minnesota value really opened up a lot. But guys like Ibaka, Ayton, Drummond, didn't end up going with any of those guys. They all crushed. So one of those definitely kicking myself for. Always, again, for NBA DFS, always go with your gut no matter what anyone says. If you feel really strongly about a guy early in the day and you still feel strongly about the guy later in the day, don't let anyone talk you off him. Even if I don't like a guy that you're really high on, stick with it, right? Because you're going to kick yourself if you fade the guy that you really like and then he goes off. You will. It's one of the worst feelings. I've done it so many times. But always go with your gut for DFS for sure. But yeah, back to Ayton. This game's going to be played at a really fast pace. Houston, their center right now is PJ Tucker. So I think DeAndre Ayton should be able to have his way. I really like him here at 8.6K. One of my favorite plays. Also, gotta like Joel Embiid. Now, the concern is he played tonight. He played 33 minutes. The box score is not loaded yet. He had a really bad game. I think he shot 6 of 26. But if Joel Embiid's going to play in this game, 8.5K is just way too cheap. So he would also be one of my favorite plays if he does play. I guess there's a chance he could play and they limit his minutes. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, if Joel Embiid plays, I really like him at that price tag as well. John Collins at 8.4, I'll probably pass there. Bam Adebayo with no Jimmy Butler definitely gets a slight boost here against Sacramento too. Pretty solid spot. So I'm okay with Bam at 8.2. I think I give the edge to Ayton. I think I give the edge to Porzingis. I think I give the edge to Embiid over Bam. Now, that doesn't make Bam out of play. I just think I like these three guys a little bit more. Now, again, Porzingis status up in the air. Maybe Joel Embiid rests. So things can definitely change where, maybe I get higher on Bam as the day goes on. Gobert at 7.7. I just never get super excited about Gobert because he's not a strong offensive player. Kind of relies on, getting you there in like 7 to 8 shot attempts. But I think he's more of a contrarian option. Whiteside, kind of the same thing. I like the price a good amount at 7.7. That is a really cheap price. And we saw him have a good game against Utah a few games ago, right? 35 minutes, 51 fancy points. I think he matches up well. So I'm fine with Whiteside. Like, if I was going to play center in this game, it would be Whiteside over Gobert. Siakam at 7.5 will probably pass there. JV is currently listed as questionable, something to keep an eye on. If he misses, Triple J and Brandon Clark could become more viable. Capella not going to be available for the game on Friday against the Celtics. Obviously, he got traded to Atlanta. Serge Ibaka, again, another one of those I'm kicking myself for not playing. Was really high in him at the beginning of the day there on Wednesday. Didn't end up going with him. He had 34 minutes, 44 fantasy points. He's once again too cheap. I guess kind of the same thing as Wednesday is there's a lot of good centers. So, I definitely think this is a two-center approach today. Let's see. Christian Wood with no Drummond. Detroit is going to be really shorthanded here. Possibly, if Henson and Knight aren't available, I think they're going to have 8 or 9 active players. So Christian Wood, I think he would become a really solid player at 6K. I guess they could always start Thon Maker. Maybe they can start them together. We'll see what they end up doing with the starting lineup. If Thon Maker starts, I think he would be an interesting value play. But Christian Wood is the guy that has the most upside. Now, again, you're kind of paying a premium for him at 6K, but there is no Andre Drummond now anymore. So he is going to be the starting center, in my opinion. And we have seen big upside games from Wood when he gets minutes. So I think he's very much viable there at 6K. Let's see. Horford at 5.5. So this would only be a guy I would get to if Joel Embiid does rest. I think there's a chance he rests as a back-to-back. You never know. So, these other Philly guys like Horford and Ben Simmons, those would be guys I would consider if Joel Embiid ends up resting. Again, that's a guess, right? I don't know. I think there's a chance he could. So we'll see. Other plays here, I'm not really getting into Adams or Mo Wagner in limited minutes. Daniel Tice is once again out. Talk about Cantor here in a sec. Miles Turner is a little bit cheap, but I think I prefer some other cheaper centers to him. Like right under him, you have Maxi Kleber. Now, I would only get to him if Porzingis misses. And if Porzingis misses, I would love Kleber. I love Cauley-Stein. We saw big games from them in the game against Atlanta, and Kristaps was out 39 minutes for Kleber, or 39 fancy points for Kleber. So, yeah, him and Cauley-Stein would be guys I would look to if Porzingis can't go. Now, Enes Kanter, really like him here at 4.4. I know he was a little bit disappointing for sure, but he got 26 minutes against Orlando. Orlando's a tougher spot. This is a lot better spot, and yeah, no Clint Capella. He's going to be matched up against like Damian Jones. So I think Kanter is one of the better value plays here at 4.4. I know he's slightly disappointing that last game, but I would go right back to the well. One of my favorite plays here for sure at 4.4. Let's see. Other options. Yeah, so Cauley-Stein, he's 3.3K. Now, he hasn't been playing big minutes, but the game against Atlanta, he played 26 and had 26 fantasy points. So him and Kleber would be value guys I would really like if Porzingis can't end up going. Kelly Olynyk is listed at 3.3. He did start that last. He played 22 minutes. Jimmy Butler also injured, so let me bring up the minutes here for Miami in that last, what was it? Wednesday, right? The last game. So we have no Tyler Hero as well. So Miami actually is going to be pretty thin. Kelly Olynyk played 22. Bam played 40. Jimmy played 26, but again, got injured that game. Kendrick Nunn played 35. Duncan Robinson played 35. Derrick Jones Jr. played 31. Dragic played 31. And Vincent played 17. They basically ran an 8-man rotation. So, and again, they traded James Johnson. No, Deion Waiters is gone. We don't know if I don't think Iguodala is definitely not going to be available. Probably not Jay Crowder either. So they could be really, really thin here. If Olynyk starts again at 3.3K, I think he would have to play big minutes. So I do have a good amount of interest in Kelly O as a value play. And that basically wraps it up for center. So let's move on to power forward. Let's see. Tatum. So Right now, literally everyone on Boston is questionable. Hayward, Brown, Kemba. I think Marcus Smart is probable. But if all those guys end up getting ruled out, like Tatum at 8.1K against Atlanta would stand out as one of the best plays here. In the last game against Orlando, 39 minutes, 62 fantasy points. So kind of up in the air, right? Just because everyone is questionable right now for Boston. But certainly if like a couple of those guys can't go, he would really stand out. Kelly Oubre, 6.7, is a guy that is kind of up and down, but he can certainly get you there at this price. I think I would go there as part of a game stack. I don't know if he's necessarily cash game playable, but he is too cheap in my opinion here, especially against Houston. Let's see, other options in the power forward. Not super excited about a lot here. Covington, we have news that Russell Westbrook is going to rest this game tomorrow, so it's going to be the James Harden show and then a bunch of value guys here. The issue is, a lot of them got priced up after that game that Westbrook missed last game. So that is the concern there. Let's see. Yeah, so again, PJ Tucker no longer like the great value, 5.5. I know he had a good game against Charlotte, but there's just no way I can pay 5.5K for PJ Tucker. Daniel House had a big game, 5.3, 42 minutes, right? So they only really ran a 7-man rotation the last game. Now they have Covington, so I assume they would run an 8-man rotation. That's one more body in the rotation. I don't think he gets 42 minutes. He's definitely in play, but I don't know if I would chase that big game. I think it's a little bit more of an outlier game in my opinion. Derrick Jones Jr. had a huge game when Jimmy Butler went down, 31 minutes, 47 fancy points. Another one where I think it's a little bit more of an outlier game, but he's probably going to play big minutes here. Again, Miami is really shorthanded. So I do have a good amount of interest in Derrick Jones Jr. as a value play. Let's see. I think that basically wraps it up, though. Yeah. So let's move on to small forward. Beal at the top at 10.1. I think more of a contrarian option because, again, right now we have Harden on the slate. There's a lot of those other centers I talked about liking a good amount, right? You have Embiid, Porzingis, DeAndre Ayton. 10.1 for Beal he's gonna be really low owned. Everyone's gonna play Harden. Again, for cash games, you play Harden, you move on with no Westbrook. But Beal is definitely viable as a pivot for GPP, so 10.1. Ben Simmons, so him, Horford, those would be guys I would look to if Embiid ends up resting. I think there's a chance he could rest. Again, we have Hayward questionable, we have Brown questionable, we have Kemba questionable. Everyone in Boston is questionable. See, not a whole lot I'm super excited about in this range, to be honest. Like Eric Gordon at 5.2, he was so bad that last game when Westbrook's out, 6 of 22. I'm just like, what the heck, man? But yeah, I mean, he'll play. His usage will go up in no Westbrook. I'm fine with it if you want to go back there, 5.2K. Bruce Brown, Detroit is, like I said, they're going to be really shorthanded. So him, Reggie Jackson, Christian Wood are going to have to carry the load offensively here. I know it's a mediocre matchup, but Detroit, another team, is going to be pretty shorthanded. And no D Rose, obviously no Drummond. He's traded. Kind of happy about that too. I'm a Pistons fan, if you guys didn't know, but yeah, I mean, blow it up, rebuild. I've been wanting that for a while. But yeah, Detroit is really, really going to be shorthanded here. So Bruce Brown, Reggie Jackson, Christian Wood. Those are the guys I want on the Detroit side. Again, there are some other value plays like Thon Maker, if he starts, would be viable. I think like a Langston Galloway is okay. Other options here. I think Justin Holiday had a big game off the bench. Yeah, 7 of 12. I'm not chasing that. I know he had 43 fantasy points, but I think there's other value plays that I prefer more. A guy like Ben McLemore had a pretty solid game when Westbrook missed that last game. 37 minutes, 26 fantasy points. Again, they have another guy in the rotation with Covington, so I think that they're going to run an 8-man rotation. 4.2, I'll probably pass there. I think that basically wraps it up, though, for small forward. So let's move on to shooting guard. Harden is a clear-cut chalk, right, with no Westbrook. 12.1, I know it feels like a lot, but on days where Westbrook misses, it's kind of you play Harden and move on for cash games. I think you can fade for GPPs. It's definitely a risky fade, But yeah, cash games, you play hard and move on. I know 12.1 feels like a lot, but with no Westbrook and a good match against Phoenix, his upside is through the roof. He can, I think there's like, when Westbrook's not in the lineup, I think there's like a probably 5 to 10% chance Harden can get 100 fantasy points. Really, he has that much upside. Now, Booker, again, Jimmy Butler is doubtful. Don't expect him to go. So we already have Tyler Hero out. Yeah, I'll talk about a couple of those guards with Nunn and Dragic in a bit. I already talked about Derek Jones Jr., Kelly Olynyk. Devin Booker is a guy I have interest here for sure at 7.9K. Back-to-back, not so great games, but DeAndre Ayton has been going off recently. This is a spot I could see a blow-up game from Booker, and I don't think he's going to be that high owned. I wouldn't mind running a game stack here with Harden, Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and then a bunch of value. I think that has a lot of upside. Two teams don't play a whole lot of defense. They want to push the pace, so yeah, I do like Booker a good amount. I think he goes a bit lower owned today, though. Donovan Mitchell, 6.9K is a little bit too cheap, so I think he's fine in the mid-range. The OKC guys, no one really stands out to me. I'm fine if you land on one of those guys like SGA, Schroeder, Chris Paul, Gallinari. Again, we have Jaylen Brown. Everyone is questionable in Boston, so it's hard to break down right now. Yeah, again, D-Rose still out. Fred VanVleet feels a little bit too cheap. If you want to go more of a mid-tier balance approach, I'm okay with him. I think he's a pretty safe option. We do have Marcus Smart probable. If Hayward, Kemba, and Brown can't go, Marcus Smart would be one of my favorite plays here at 5.8. Him, Cantor, Jason Tatum, those guys would be really, really solid plays there against Atlanta. Now, Jalen Brunson at 5.6 played 33 minutes at last game with no Seth Curry, no J.J. Brea. If both those guards are out and Porzingis is out, again, it's Brunson, Kleber, and Cauley Stein. Those would be my priorities for Dallas. You could talk me into some DeLon Wright too. Hardaway, I guess, is fine to 5.2. He's been okay, but if he's shooting the ball well, he can have upside games. The issue is he is a little bit scoring dependent. Glenn Robinson, Burks, again, you guys know the news. They got traded to Philadelphia. Don't know if they're going to be active for this one, so definitely something to keep an eye on. Wouldn't play them, but just, would be more bodies in that rotation. We do have Oladipo listed as questionable, possibly rest day, so this is something to keep an eye on. If he misses, I think both the Holidays get more minutes, but yeah, Justin Holiday, I'll probably let others chase that big game. DeLon Wright, yeah, if all those guys are out for Dallas, right, then I would consider him at their 4.8. Kendrick Nunn is going to play a lot more. Again, Miami is really shorthanded. Possibly could be down to like 8 or 9 bodies. Nunn, Dragic, Jones Jr., Kelly Olynyk, those cheap guys look pretty solid here in a good matchup against Sacramento. So I do have some interest in Kendrick Nunn for sure there, 4.8. Other options, let's see. Again, we still have no Tyler Hero. I think that basically wraps it up, though. So let's move on to point guard. Trae Young at 10.2 against Boston. We saw him put up 50 fantasy points against Boston. He can go off in any matchup, really. I think he's more of a contrarian option, though, because, again, cash games, you play hard and move on. So it's going to be tricky to get to Trae Young for cash games, but he is a viable GPP option for sure. Damian Lillard has been going off. He plays tonight. Had an off game there against Denver, but that was a blowout. More of a contrarian option as well. Again, we have no Westbrook. He is going to rest this game, so do not play Russell Westbrook. Harden really stands out as a spend up. De'Aaron Fox, 7.8. Probably not for me. That is somewhat of an appealing price tag, but I just prefer other plays at similar prices. We have Kemba, questionable. Kyle Lowry, another one of those I'm kicking myself for not playing. I was pretty high on him and Ibaka the other night. Didn't end up going with either. He had 38 minutes, 62 fancy points. So I think Lowry's fine here, but I would not expect 62 again from him. Reggie Jackson, revenge spot. I know the price is up to 6.1, but who is going to score the ball for Detroit? No Drummond, right? No Derrick Rose. I think it's going to be Reggie. I think it's going to be Bruce Brown. I think it's going to be Christian Wood. So those three guys really stand out to me on the Detroit side. I know the price is up there, but I'm very much considering Reggie. Again, if Marcus Smart plays and all those other guys are out for Boston, he would be one of my favorite plays. Even a guy like Mike Conley. It's kind of gross, but look what he's done the last couple of games, right? 30 minutes, 34 fantasy points, 34 minutes, 42 fantasy points. He kind of came out of nowhere, right? Because he has been having a terrible stretch, but looks like he's kind of back to normal. This is a good spot against Portland. If we're going to get over 30 minutes from Mike Conley, he is certainly a play in the mid-range that I have some consideration for. Even a guy like Ricky Rubio, he's been terrible, but is this the game he finally has a bounce back game? We have not seen a big upside game from Rubio in a 65 fantasy point game in, the middle of January. So, Ricky Rubio is a guy that I'm fine with in the mid-range as well. Goran Dragic can have to do a lot with no Jimmy Butler. I think he has the most upside of any of these Miami guys. But, him, Kendrick Nunn, Derek Jones Jr., Kelly Olynyk, those are all guys I have a lot of interest, especially if Jimmy can't go. Again, he is listed as doubtful. Let's see. Other options here. I think that basically wraps it up. Yeah, so again, let's go over it. There is a lot of question marks in the slate. This is going to be a crazy slate. But yeah, Dallas, we have Porzingis status up in the air. We have JJ and Seth Curry both questionable. If Porzingis can't go and those other two guards can't go, then it's Kleber, Cauley Stein, and Jalen Brunson for me. If Porzingis is able to play, it's probably only Porzingis, maybe Brunson for me. On the Washington side, probably Brad Beal for me. Now, Isaiah Thomas did get traded. We don't know if Shabazz Napier is going to be active. Ish Smith could be in for more minutes, so I guess he would be a viable play. But other than that, it's kind of Brad Beal, and that's it. On the Memphis side, not a whole lot I'm super excited about here. JV is questionable. If he can't go, we can consider Triple J and Brandon Clark. On the Philadelphia side, this is kind of, I really like Joel Embiid if he plays. If they end up resting him, then we can look at guys like Ben Simmons, Al Horford. Atlanta, not a whole lot I'm super excited about. We don't know if Deadman's going to be available. I'd assume probably not. I don't know. It's kind of probably Trae Young, and that's about it for me. On the Boston side, there's huge question marks here, right? We have no Tice, possibly no Brown, Hayward, Kemba. We have Marcus Smart probable. Really all up in the air, right? If a lot of those guys have missed, then Tatum, Smart, Cantor I like either way. I assume we probably get 25 or so minutes from him. But yeah, a lot of up in the air there on the Boston side. Toronto, I think my favorite plays are Lowry and Ibaka. They're a little bit too cheap in the mid-range. We just saw big games from them in this same matchup. On the Pacers side, not a whole lot I'm super excited about. TJ Warren, I believe, is doubtful or questionable. We have Oladipo questionable. If both those guys can't go, I mean, the Holiday brothers will probably play more minutes, but I think I like other value plays more. Detroit, OKC. Detroit is going to be super, super short-handed. Reggie, Christian Wood, and Bruce Brown are going to be my priorities, but guys like Sekru, Galloway, right? We don't know if John Henson and Brandon Knight are going to be available. Detroit could be really thin. So, that's something to keep an eye on. The OKC side, nothing really stands out here. I'm fine if you land on those starters, but nothing I'm really prioritizing. Houston, obviously Harden's going to be the absolute chalk. Covington, PJ Tucker, House, Gordon. I'm fine if you want to get to one of those guys, but their prices are up. Now, they are going to play big minutes, but I think, the cash game play for sure is Harden there. On the Phoenix side, I really like Ayton as a spend up. Also, kind of like Booker at 7.9K, who is, back-to-back kind of bad games, but that's going to lower his ownership. This could be a big spot for him. Also, I have some interest in Oubre and Ricky Rubio as well. Miami, Sacramento, another team that's going to be pretty thin, the Miami side. Jimmy, doubtful. We have no Hero. I don't think Iguodala's for sure not going to play. Jay Crowder, probably not. Myers Leonard, probably not. Solomon Hill, we don't know. So they could be really, really thin, right? So guys like Olynyk, guy like Derek Jones Jr., Nunn, Dragic. I would really like those guys as value plays. You could even look to Bam as a spend up. He's going to have to do more. On the Sacramento side, honestly, not a whole lot I'm super excited about. I don't think I get to anyone in Sacramento. Portland, Utah. On the Portland side, I think Whiteside would probably be my favorite play, but it's tough when there's a lot of really good centers. On the Utah side, I think my favorite play is Mike Conley there at 5.4, but Donovan Mitchell also seems a little bit underpriced. Yeah, all right. I think that wraps it up. Yeah, I will be live streaming for this crazy 8-game slate, so be sure to check the live stream, guys. 45 minutes before lock, I'll be going over all the injury news we get. I will be going game by game, kind of give you guys my core plays, then any answer questions you guys have at the end. So, yeah, thanks again for everyone to come and check out the video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys all tomorrow in the live stream.